Christmas is right around the corner, and while the most diabetic man on earth can't wait to get his hands on them cookies, I can't wait to get my hand on that stuffing. And today on Poor Choices, we are making one of my favorite holiday dishes, sausage and sage stuffing, and we're making it all from scratch. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with the box stuff. I think it's close to perfection as you can get.
But
if we can add in our own flavors and elevate it, why not?
Starting out, I've got a loaf of bread here that's coming in at about 2 pounds. You can use any type of bread here. This was an Italian loaf I grabbed from the store, but regular white bread is good, even if it's already sliced. You can also use my favorite, which is cornbread as well, just have about 2 pounds. Next, we'll slice it up into even cubes or as close as we can, but you can also go rustic here and just tear it with your hands. I'm a fan of the smaller size, like the box stuffing, so I'm cutting mine into as small of a cube as I can, but it's all up to your preference. Once you get it all cubed up, throw it into some baking pans. You might need 2 here, and pop them into the oven set at 275 for 45 minutes. This will dry out the bread in the event we didn't have the time to let it sit out for a day or 2 and get hard. I actually kind of prefer this method better than that. Once our bread is nice and dry, and remember, we're not toasting this, just drying it out, we'll set it aside while we work on the sausage part. To a Dutch oven over medium-high heat, I've got a half stick of unsalted butter. We want it to melt but not brown, so monitor it closely. Once it has melted, we'll add in 1.5 pounds or up to 2 pounds of breakfast pork sausage. If you want to sub in turkey breakfast sausage, you can also do that. Break up the sausage into fine pieces as it browns. Once it's almost done, meaning you see a little bit of pink still left, add in 1 whole finely diced onion, 2 finely diced ribs of celery, 2 to 3 cloves of minced garlic, and mix it up for about 30 seconds to a minute. I'm also giving it a sprinkle of this everyday seasoning by Heath Rouse, which is just a great all-purpose seasoning of salt, pepper, garlic. And I'm also doing a couple sprinkles of Herb de Provence, which is a blend of like thyme, basil, rosemary, tarragon, oregano, and some other dried spices. And finally, 1 teaspoon of dried sage. And you can play around with your seasonings here. Combine and mix until the sausage is done and the vegetables are softened. Remove from the heat so we don't have any residual heat still cooking our stuff while we put the rest together. Then we'll add in 1 cup of chicken stock initially. We'll end up using more, but this is the first amount. In another bowl, we'll take 2 eggs, and I haven't said this in a while, but cracking eggs on a flat surface will significantly lower the chances of getting eggshell in your mix. Scramble those eggs up, and then we'll add in a small handful of chopped up parsley, maybe this was like 2 tablespoons, and another cup of chicken stock. Mix it all up until combined, and then we'll slowly pour that into our sausage and vegetable mix. Now all we need to do is slowly fold in our dried bread cubes, and it may seem like this is way too much at first and that it won't fit, but trust me, as you fold some in, stir and fold more, you'll quickly see that it all fits perfectly. And make sure you're really folding everything, like stirring from the bottom, folding over the top so that everything gets coated with that liquid. You don't want any dry pieces of bread here. And then from here, we have to make a decision based on how we like our stuffing. If you want a stuffing more closer to the consistency of like the box stuff that's kind of more wet, add a little bit more chicken stock at a time until you get that. If you like a drier and more rustic stuffing that's crisp on the exposed edges while it bakes, you're probably good with just the amount that I gave here, which is just 2 total cups of chicken stock. Play around with it and see which one you like. Then we'll take a 13x9 baking dish and butter up the bottom and sides. Then pour our stuffing mixture into the dish and smooth it out as evenly as we can, and then cover it with some aluminum foil and pop that bad boy into a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. After that, we'll remove the aluminum foil and let it bake for another 15 to 20 minutes to get some nice browning and crispy edges on top. Once the time is up, remove it from the oven and let it cool, hit it with some parsley, and you are ready to serve. It's just that easy. And listen, as I said earlier, I love the box stuff, and of course it gets done in 5 minutes versus this, but this is just so good for being able to kind of control your flavors and add more flair to it. Hey everybody, this is Poor Choices Kitchen. We have a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for. Helps pay for these recipes in these here inflated times. And I'm looking forward to sharing some more holiday recipes with you, so stay tuned.